Good evening, everyone. I am Murali Manohar from Tally Solutions. Today, I'm going to take you through the live webinar session on the topic Manage all banking features like an expert. So, introduction to banking in Tally ERP9. The banking feature in Tally ERP9 provides an end-to-end solution to the banking needs for operating the business. You can use banking capability of Tally to make timely payments to your vendors, manage checks and PDC, reconcile bank statements and others. Tally ERP9's banking feature supports the following major areas of your business operations. The banking features are Auto Bank Reconciliation, which is a unique, fast and friendly experience which automates the process of bank reconciliation. Predefined check printing. Predefined check printing enables single-click configuration and printing of any type of check. Check management helps in these activities, that is auto check numbering, duplicate check validation and check status tracking. Check or cash deposit helps in check or amount validation and easy printing saves time. Post-dated check management. Tracking of PDC received, paid, balance including PDC and report. E-payments. Make electronic fund transfer from one bank to another. So we have supported e-payments for few banks in Tally. So with this e-payments capabilities in Tally, the user can make electronic fund transfer from one bank to another bank through Tally. So these are all the product features which we are going to cover in today's session. So let me now take you through the product walkthrough. So during product walkthrough, I'll just start with Auto Bank Reconciliation. So we are going to see the enabling of Auto Bank Reconciliation, configuring location, effective date of reco, manual reconciliation, auto format supported, opening BRS, unlinked transactions or reconciling the unlinked transactions, or we are going to see what are these unlinked transactions, and not getting bank in the list. So these are all the areas which we are going to cover during the product demo of Auto Bank Reconciliation. So let me open Tally. So this is the latest release 6.4.9, the latest release available in the market today. And let me open the company. We have a company by name National Traders. So for this National Traders, let me go to the bank ledger for taking you through the configuration. Go to accounts info, ledgers, alter. So since I have already created the bank ledger, I'm just taking you through the alteration. S Bank. In this S Bank ledger, we have created under bank accounts and configured the account number, IFSC code, and we have selected the bank name from the list. So selection of bank name from the list of banks is crucial, because based on this bank name only the configurations will get downloaded from the server. So only when we select the bank name in the list, we will be able to download the predefined check formats and auto reconciliation configurations and e-payments for S Bank. So for S Bank we have supported e-payments. I'll come to this part later. So selection of bank ledger will help us download the latest check formats and the bank reconciliation configuration. So now to start with Auto Bank Reconciliation, we have to enable this option called Enable Auto Reconciliation. This will be enabled by default, and we have to go to this Set or Alter Auto BRS configuration to configure the location of bank statement. So the location of new bank statements we have configured, and once the bank statements are imported, if the imported bank statements has to be moved to a different folder, then a new folder location can be configured against this location called location of imported bank statements. So this will help us bifurcate the fresh statements and the imported statements. So now we have already configured the location. So in this location we have the statement now. So once the statement is imported, the statement will go to a new folder called IMP in the same location. So let me accept this configuration. Now for reconciliation, we can directly go to bank reconciliation, select the bank ledger here, it will take us to the reconciliation screen, or we can go to display, accounts book, ledger. We can open our bank ledger. So this bank ledger will open the ledger vouchers summary for the bank. And from this ledger report, we can go to reconcile by pressing F5. It will take us to the bank reconciliation screen. Now, to reconcile this transactions, we have two methods in Tally. Either the user can manually update the bank date and reconcile the transactions, or the user can import the bank statement for auto reconciliation. So let me first take you through the manual reconciliation. So in the manual reconciliation, the user will have to update the date manually against each transaction. So that will get reconciled. So the balances will match. The balance as per bank and the balances as per company books will have to match here. So once after reconciling all the transactions, this will be matched. If we have a huge number of transactions where the user cannot manually enter the date one by one, in such case, in the manual reconciliation itself, to simplify it, we have given the option called set bank dates. So this set bank dates option has the capability to capture the bank date as per the instrument date or the voucher date, or a new date can be entered. So when we enter a new date, the new date will get captured against all the transactions. So now let me first take you through the new date. So where I'll be entering one date. So let it be 31st December 2018, the end of this quarter. So I'm just giving, I'm assuming that all the transactions are reconciled as on this date. So I'll give one date here, that is 31st December 2018. So that date is getting captured against all the transactions. So this 1st August 2018 is capturing here because we have entered 1st August 2018. That is the reason it is captured. And apart from first transaction, all other transaction has captured 31st December 2018. Now, if you want the transactions to be reconciled based on the voucher date, you can go to set bank date, select voucher date here. So all the voucher date will get captured as bank date against all the transactions, and it is getting reconciled. Now, since all the transactions are getting reconciled here, the balance as per company books and balance as per bank is getting matched. Now, let me also show you the setting of bank dates as per instrument date here. So if you see, the bank date is getting captured as per the instrument date. So this is how we have simplified manual reconciliation. The user can manually update bank date against each transaction one by one if the transactions are less. If the transactions are more, the user can go to set bank date option, either reconcile the transactions based on instrument date or voucher date, or enter any one date for reconciling all the transactions at once. So this with regard to manual reconciliation. And if you want to enter the opening BRS manually, so you can just go to this opening BRS, enter the transaction details one by one, date, particulars, under particulars you can just either give the party's name or whatever reference you want to give under particulars, you can give under this. And the nature of transaction, whether is it a deposit or a withdrawal, transaction type, remarks, debit and credit. So whenever we are entering opening VRS, the opening VRS date should be lesser than the reconciliation, effective date of reconciliation. So let me go to opening VRS. I'll just give 31st March 2018. Okay, so whenever we are making any payment, it will be a withdrawal, and for all receipts, it will be deposit. So this how you can manually enter the VRS. So the opening transaction is appearing here. And if you want to remove the opening VRS, you can go to this opening VRS screen, and either you can manually press spacebar and enter so that you can remove the transaction, selected transactions or transactions one by one, or you can use Control X for deleting all the transactions at once. So this will transactions at once and will remove all the opening VRS from this screen. This will remove all the opening VRS. So this is with regard to manual reconciliation. Let me now take you through the auto reconciliation part. See, the auto reconciliation configurations we have already done in the bank ledger. So that is the reason these three options are getting highlighted. If we have not enabled auto bank reconciliation for this bank ledger, then this option called bank statement reconcile unlinked or reconcile all unlinked or delete unlinked or delete all unlinked, these options will not be highlighted, or these options will not be actionable. So here now we are going to do the auto bank reconciliation. So for auto bank reconciliation, we have to configure the location of statement, and in the statement the in the location the bank statement should be available. So we have a location where the bank statement is available. The location is banking of the VRS. So it is on 4th October Rest Bank. So here the statement is available. So this location we have already configured here, and the supported formats are CSV, Excel and delimited. So the user can download the bank statement in any of these formats, either in CSV or in Excel or in delimited format, and when he just press Alt B, he will be able to get this statement. So he can directly import the statement or view the statement before importing. So he can just go to with view. So this with view will take to the preview of the bank statement first, and after showing the preview, when we press Alt I for importing, the bank statement will get imported into the reconciliation screen. So this is the preview of the bank statement. The debit total is 3,40,000, credit total is 3,53,000. The closing balance as per statement is 56,810.41. Now, after verifying the transactions available in the bank statement, we can click on import. So this has imported the transaction. Now, the statement totally has 20 transactions and has reconciled 18 transactions. So out of 20, 18 transactions are reconciled, and there are 2 additional transactions in the statement compared to the books of accounts. So in the books of accounts, we have 18 transactions, or only 18 transactions are matching with the books of accounts, we can say, and 2 transactions are additional, which are not reconciled. So let me say yes here. Now the transactions are reconciled. Now, if we see in our books of accounts, we have 19 transactions, and statement we have 20 transactions. But reconciled transactions are only 18 because the instrument number and amount is matching when compared to the statement and the books of accounts. The auto bank reconciliation works based on the instrument number and the transaction amount. So when the instrument number and the transaction amount, both in statement as well as in our books of accounts, is same, only then the bank date will get captured against the respective transaction. If we have recorded a transaction in Tally for 15,673.12 with this instrument number, and if the instrument number is different in our statement, then the bank's date will not get captured against this transaction. So that's what happened here. We have a transaction for 16,034.01, sorry, 07. So we have a transaction in statement as well as the same value transaction in our books of accounts, but the bank date is not captured because the instrument number is different. So the instrument number in our statement is different compared to the instrument number which we have entered in our books of accounts. So for that, if you want to reconcile this transaction, which is additional, you can you can select this transaction, take the cursor against this transaction and press reconcile unlink. So this reconcile unlink will take us to the reconciliation of that particular transaction. So it will list out all the transactions with same value. So the user can verify the transaction and select the transaction for reconciliation. Now, after when we pressed enter against this transaction, the transaction is reconciled successfully. So now the reconciled transaction will not appear here. So let me press F12, click on show reconciled transactions also to show that particular transaction. So this reconciled transaction is also listed here. Now we already saw how to reconcile the unlinked transactions. Now let me show you. This transaction is not available in Tally. So the transaction with 50,000 with this instrument number is not available in Tally. So we have transaction with 50,000 but with different instrument numbers. But the transaction with 50,000 with this instrument number is not available in Tally. For this, we have to record the transaction in Tally. So the statement, it is appearing, but it is not available in the books of accounts. For that, we have to record the transaction in Tally. For recording the transaction, it is very simple. You can simply click on create voucher. So this will take us to the creation of voucher, the respective voucher. So since the transaction is of withdrawal nature, it is taking us to the payment voucher. So you have to simply select the ledger. So it can be any expenses or it can be any payment to vendors. So I'm selecting a vendor ledger here. So if you see, the transaction value is also appearing by default. So based on the transaction that is available in the amounts not reflected in bank section. So this is the amounts not reflected in bank section. All the additional transactions will list under this amounts not reflected in banks. So let me create a transaction. Now that transaction after saving will auto reconcile once after saving. So it is auto reconciled and it is not appearing here. So let me take you through the SQL configuration and say show reconciled also. Now the reconciled transaction is appearing. So this is all about auto reconciliation. So in this auto reconciliation, if you do not want any transactions see if you have already reconciled those transactions, and if you do not want those transactions to appear under amounts not reflected in company books, then you can either select select the transactions one by one and click on delete unlinked, or just click on delete all unlinked to remove all the transactions at one shot. So this is with regard to auto reconciliation. Balance as per company books is the balance in your bank ledger. Balance not reflected in company books is the balance of unreconciled transactions compared to statements. So here we do not have any unreconciled transactions. That's the reason amounts not reflected in company books is not appearing. Means amounts not reflected in company books will be the total of the unlinked transactions. The debit and credit total of unlinked transactions. Balance as per bank is the balance of is the difference of statements here, and balance as per imported bank statement is the closing balance available in the bank statement. So this with regard to auto bank reconciliation. Okay, so we are done with the bank reconciliation part, both manual reconciliation as well as auto reconciliation. So in this we have saw the enabling of auto bank reconciliation, configuring of location. The effective date of reconciliation will be the book's beginning date, and we also saw how the manual reconciliation works and auto reconciliation works. Format supported, opening BRS, and unlinked transaction. What is unlinked transaction and how to reconcile the unlinked transaction, and not getting bank in the list. If in bank ledger creation or alteration, if we are not able to find our bank ledger in the list, then it means we have not supported the particular bank in our tally. So for that you can share the bank statement or the check format with us and ask to configure the new bank name in tally. So we will take it forward. So you can send your soft copy of statement to support@tallySolutions.com for auto bank reconciliation support, and for check printing support you can send your cancelled check copy, cancelled check leaf to our Tally Solutions address, which I will share it with you during the end of the session. So let me now take you to the check printing and check management. So under this check management, we are going to see the check range, not in range, refresh range, blank or cancelled check, check written, out of period checks, reconciled and unreconciled checks. So how to track all these status-wise checks issued and received. So under this bank reconciliation, the folder can be created anywhere in your systems. It can be either in your C drive, D drive, E drive, whichever drives. And the configuration of location it can be done in the bank ledger creation or alteration. So when we go to set or alter bank reconciliation auto BRS configuration, here the statement location can be configured. So check management. Under this check management, we are going to see how to enable a check range, how to configure check range. Let me take you to the ledger alteration. So here we have an option called alter checkbooks. So when we enable this option, we can configure the checkbooks here. So we have already configured one checkbook called CTS book 1. So this book starts from 000123, ends with 000172, containing 50 check leaves. Let me accept it. So after configuring this check range, we can have the track of checks received, checks issued, total number of available checks, all these things. So for that, go to banking, go to check register. Under this check register, we have an option called we have a check register. Under this check register, we have bank-wise checkbooks created. So we have S Bank. Under this S Bank, we have one checkbook, so which has 50 check leaves, out of which only 48 are available. We have used one check and we have issued one cancelled check. So for the check-wise status, you can just go enter into this checkbook. So it will show instrument number wise. So instrument number 100128 is already used as a cancelled check. 000132 is used in the voucher, and it is also reconciled. If it is not reconciled, it will show unreconciled, and it will come under this column of unreconciled. So now let me show you how to record the transactions with auto check numbering and how to track the status of each check. So let me record few transactions here. I'll record a payment transaction. So the accounting vouchers, payment. I'm recording a payment on 14th December, today's date. Select S Bank, making a payment to Sharma Traders of 10,000. Select the nature of transaction type as check. The auto selection of check range and instrument number is happening here. So you can, if you have multiple checkbooks, you can select the checkbooks from the list here. So since 132 was the last used check number, it picked the next number as 1333, but we have 123 as vacant, so I'm using the same. So this will appear under check register under unreconciled, because we have not reconciled this transaction yet. Is reconciled, and when we enter into this, we will be getting all unreconciled transactions. You can see the status wise transactions. So if you have multiple checks used and which are unreconciled, when you enter, all the unreconciled checks will appear in this list, and all the reconciled checks will appear when you enter into this. And if you have issued any blank check, you can see the blank checks here, cancelled checks, and out of period. So if you want to issue any blank check, you can just go to the instrument wise transactions. So go to instrument wise, and if you want to issue this 124 as a blank check, you can just press spacebar on this available check and go to alter status, select blank. So for issuing a blank check, in F11 features, you have to enable this option called enable zero value transaction. This option, you have to make sure that this enable zero value transaction is set to yes. If this option is set to no, then it will not allow us to record a blank check transaction. I'm issuing a blank check to Mr. Sharma Traders. So 124 has converted into a blank check. Now, if I want to issue a cancelled check, again press spacebar and select the transaction, select the check, and alter status, select cancel. The check, cancel check is the check status converted to cancel check. So this with regard to check management. So let me now take you through post-dated checks. So under this post-dated checks, you can go to F11 features, accounting features. Under this, we have set or alter post-dated check features, post-dated transaction features. When you say yes, you can link a notional bank here. So I have created a bank called Notional Bank under bank accounts, and I have not selected any bank name here because I'm not sure to which bank the post-dated check has to be reflected. So this, let me tell you the use of this Notional Bank. So this Notional Bank will be useful in case of post-dated check receipts. So whenever you are receiving post-dated checks and you are not sure to which bank you want to deposit that check, so in such cases, you can create a bank ledger called Notional Bank, and here we are not going to select any bank name here, so let me accept it. So this can be linked as Notional Bank. So when we link a bank under Notional Bank, this will not reflect in our books of accounts. This will not be affected in our balance sheet. So since it is the Notional Bank. So as I said, the use of this Notional Bank is for receiving the post-dated checks and later transferring it to the banks to which we are depositing those checks. So we are going to link this Notional Bank, and later I'll show you the use of it during a live demo. So for issuing post-dated checks, again in our F11 features, under accounting features, we have to enable this option called use reversing journals and optional vouchers. So only after enabling this option, the post-dated check, post-dated option will be highlighted during the vouchers. Let me record post-dated action. So this post-dated will be highlighted only when reversing journals and optional vouchers are enabled. So to issue a post-dated check, I have to use this post-dated option here. Let me click on this. So it has come as post-dated, and I have to select a post-dated date here. So I'll select 15th Jan. So I'm issuing a check for 15th Jan, but the transaction which I'm recording is on 14th December. I'll select this bank. I'm issuing post-dated check to National Enterprises, 25,000. Now if you see, the post-dated check is for 25,000 and the check number is 126. So it is the increment of previous check which we used, and the instrument date is 15th Jan 2019, the post-dated, and the PDC issue date is the current date. 14th December is the PDC issue date. So we are issuing a post-dated check on 14th December, which will be effective from 1st Jan 2019. So let me accept. So this 25,000 will not have any effect in our books of accounts. Say like the party ledger, when we go to National Enterprises, this will not be added to the balances. When we go to bank ledger, this will not be listed. Or when we go to balance sheet, this will not have any effect in our current accounts or current liabilities or in our outstandings. So let me accept it. Now when I go to display, accounts book, ledger, and go to National Enterprises, that transaction of 25,000 is not listed here. And the current closing balance is, the ledger has a debit balance which is a outstanding receivable of 2,90,000. So if you want to see the balances including post-dated, so you have an option to include the post-dated for reports. Click on include, so it will show the balances including the post-dated transaction. So this is how we issue post-dated checks and see the balances including post-dated or excluding post-dated. So let me now take you through how to track the post-dated checks. Go to banking, post-dated summary, Yes Bank. So we have issued one post-dated check for January, and here is the status tracking of post-dated check. We have issued this check with instrument number and instrument date, and the status of the post-dated check is pending. So if the date for 15th Jan 2019 occurs, then this transaction will automatically converted to regular transaction. And after reconciling this transaction, the status will turn to reconciled. So that is how we can track the post-dated transactions using this post-dated summary. So let me now regularize this transaction. So I will record any voucher on 15th Jan 2019. So that will be considered as the current date as 15th Jan 2019, and the transaction will get regularized. So before that, let me also record a notional bank, record receipt of post-dated check. So I'm recording a receipt of post-dated check, so which will be effective from 15th Jan, but I'm recording it on 14th December. So here I'm selecting this notional bank because I don't know whether this check to be deposited to Yes Bank or Kotak Mahindra or DBS Bank. So let me select notional bank here. So the PDC receipt date is 14th December, but it is effective from 15th Jan 2019. So when you go to post-dated summary, we have only one transaction listed here under Yes Bank. Because we have selected only we have paid only one transaction, one payment, and when you go to notional bank, we have one transaction. So this notional bank, whenever you link a transaction to notional bank, the status will be unlinked, and when you transfer this or when you change this voucher to any regular bank, then the status will turn to pending. So let me go to alter bank, select the regular bank here. Now the transaction has moved from notional bank to Yes Bank, and the status is pending. So on occurrence of 15th Jan 2019, these transactions will be auto regularized. So let me record one transaction on 15th Jan to regularize these transactions. So now date of last entry has become 15th Jan 2019, and the transactions will be regularized. Click on show all, it will show all the transactions. The transaction has been regularized now. Since the current date or the date of last entry is 15th Jan 2019, the transaction has been auto regularized, and it will now start reflecting in our books of accounts and will start affecting all the reports. So this is how we can manage post-dated checks. And once after reconciling these transactions, the transactions will turn to reconcile. The status will turn to reconcile. So go to banking, reconciliation, select Yes Bank, reconcile these two transactions. Transactions are reconciled now. Again go to banking, post date, Bank, select Jan and click on show all. The status will show reconciled. This is how you can track the PDC issued, PDC received, and the status. So this with regard to post-dated check management. So let me now take you through the check printing feature in Tally. So for enabling check printing, you have to go to the alteration of bank ledger or creation of bank ledger. I'm going to Yes Bank. So again, for check printing also we have to select the bank name from the list of banks here. Only then the formats will be loaded, get downloaded from our servers. So let me enable this option. So it will list all the check formats which we have supported or which we have predefined for this bank. So we have supported 3 formats for S Bank, CTS format 3, CTS format 2, CTS format 1. So whichever format you have, you can select that format and accept the configuration. So the Tally will print these information on your check leaf. Account payee, date, parties payee, amount in figures, amount in words and amount in figures. Only these 5 fields will be printed from Tally. Rest all the informations will be available on your checklist by default. So we have configured the check printing here. Let me accept it. Now, while recording a payment voucher, it will show us the check printing. It will ask us whether we want to print the check for this transaction or not. So for this we have a configuration in F12, print check after saving. So this option has to be enabled for printing or each check after saving. So now, while after accepting the voucher, it is giving us the check printing screen. So here it is giving the complete information here. When we print it, this information will be printed on your check leaf. So when you insert a check leaf and print this check, the information, account payee, date, the name of the party to whom we are paying the check, and the amount in words, amount in figures will get printed in the respective field. So this is how the predefined check formats will be useful for the users to print the checks through Tally itself. So instead of manually writing the checks, they can use these predefined check formats and print the check from Tally. And during the check printing, the user can select the orientation as well. The user can select the orientation, whether he wants to print the check in the horizontal format or vertical, whether vertical center, vertical left or vertical right. So when we select vertical center, the check will start printing from center. And whether you want to print it from the front or back or rear, you can select any one here. So I'll select this. So now it is printing from vertical center and from front. So if you select rear, it will start printing from here, center, and the vertical left or vertical right will print here. So let me select vertical left, and from rear, vertical left is the left, and it is printing from the rear. And if you select vertical right, it will print from this bottom, and based on the orientation it will print in the right area. So if you want to print multiple checks from one screen, one shot, you can go to banking, check printing, select the bank ledger. All the transactions which we have recorded will appear here, and when you press Ctrl space bar, select all the transactions and press Alt P for printing. So when you say, when you press Alt T for printing, this printing screen will appear. When you enable this option, print check, this will help us to print the check one by one. So now first check with check number 126 is getting printed, and when you complete printing this check, the next check with 127 will get printed. So similarly, all the checks one by one, it will start printing. So this is with regard to check printing, single check printing and multiple check printing. And let me now take you through the e-payments configuration. So we have supported e-payments in Tally for 6 banks, that is Standard Chartered, DBS, Kotak Mahindra, ICICI, Yes Bank and HDFC. So we have another few banks in the pipeline, so which we will be supporting in coming days. And in our new version, which is expected, a new version called Tally 18. So in the Tally 18, we will be supporting these e-payments for almost all the banks. That we are in talks with all the banks for this feature. So let me now explain you how this e-payments feature works in Tally. So first, let me go to the bank ledger, go to alteration of DBS. So here I have created a bank called DBS under bank accounts, and I have selected the DBS India from the list, and we have an option called enable e-payments, and under set or alter e-payments configuration, we have to configure the location of payment instructions file. So this payment instruction files are nothing but it will contain all the payment information. So whenever we record any e-fund transfer transaction, all the e-fund transfer transactions can be exported into one file called payment instructions, and that file can be uploaded onto the portal for making the bulk payments. Now, in the current scenario, when we are making an e-fund transfer, we have to manually go to the portal, make the e-fund transfer, and to reflect the same in our books of accounts, we have to record a payment voucher by selecting the e-fund transfer transaction type and accept the voucher. So which will be a dual effort by the users. They have to initiate the payment on the portal as well, and has to record the same in the Tally as well. So to simplify this, we have supported this e-payments feature for selected banks. So when the users records the transaction in Tally, all the transactions at once can be exported into a payment instruction file, and that file can be uploaded on the portal. So all the transactions will be initiated at one shot on the portal when after uploading the payment instruction file. So that location for payment instruction file we have configured here. Let me accept it. So now when you record a payment voucher, so this with regard to configuration in the bank ledger for enabling e-payments, and the configuration in a party ledger, we have to configure the bank details in our party ledgers. So we have configured it already. Transaction type should be e-fund transfer. We have to enter the bank account number, IFSC code, and select the bank name. So in both the party ledgers, we have enabled the bank details. Now, let's payment transaction. As DBS here, because I'm making e-fund transfer from DBS bank to all these parties. So if you see, based on the bank details configured in the party ledger, all the details are auto-fetched from the party ledger itself. Let me now record. So here we have enabled the option called exporting payment instruction file on saving each voucher. So that we have enabled in our F11 features, F11 accounting. Under set or alter banking features, we have enabled this option called export or upload payment instructions on creation of voucher. If this option is set to no, it will not give us the exporting of payment instruction file on saving the payment voucher, and we can export the bulk payment instruction file from the reports. So let me create one more voucher. I'll escape this because I'll export payment. So go to banking, e-payments. Transactions will list under ready for sending to bank. So when I enter into DBS, transactions will list here. So I can select all the transactions by pressing Ctrl spacebar here and click on this export. All these transactions will be exported in a payment instruction file. The payment instruction is exported successfully. Transactions are vanished from this report and will go to send to bank. So if you see, the transactions are coming to the send to bank. And now when I go to the location, the payment instruction for DBS is available here, which we just exported. So when I open this in a notepad or Excel, the complete payment information is available in this CSV file, which we have supported for DBS. This CSV file can be uploaded on the DBS portal so that the e-payments will be initiated at one shot on the portal on receiving this file. So for this, you have to contact the bank and register your serial number there, tally serial number. So after that, the e-payments will be active for your serials, for your license, and you can start using this e-payments capability. So this we have supported not only for DBS, we have supported for Standard Chartered Bank, Yes Bank, Kotak Mahindra, ICICI and HDFC. For DBS and Standard Chartered Bank, the option enable e-payments will be available by default, and you have to contact the bank for activating the e-payments. But for ICICI, Kotak, Yes Bank and HDFC, the enable e-payments option will not be available unless you approach bank and get your serial numbers active for e-payments. So this with regard to e-payments capability in Tally. And let me now take you through the check or cash deposit slip and receipt of check and cash deposit. So for check deposit, so whenever you are receiving a check and wants to print a check deposit slip, you can go to booking and deposit slip, check deposit slip, Yes Bank. I have received a check from Sharma Traders, so I can print the check deposit slip for this transaction from this report. So this will deposit slip. So this will reduce your manual work, where you have to manually write the deposit slip when you want to deposit a check in your bank and then present it in your bank. So you can simply go to the bank ledger in your Tally, the check deposit slip report in Tally, and print the check deposit slip and present the same in your banks while depositing the checks. And to print the cash deposit, you can record a contra voucher, debit bank, credit cash. You are depositing the cash here. Transaction type is cash, And when you're depositing cash, it will give you the denomination options also. So this denomination option will appear only when you're recording a transaction in Contra for cash deposit. Now you can print the cash deposit slip as well. Alt P, cash deposit slip is getting printed. Banker's copy and customer's copy will get printed. You can present the same while depositing the cash in your banks. So these formats, cash deposit slips and check deposit slip format, we have supported a universal format which can be accepted by all banks. So all the mandatory information that the bank requires for accepting the check deposit slip or cash deposit slips are available in our format. So you can present it, and if the banks are not accepting, then it is up to the bank. So based on the bank's policy, they will accept or reject. So if the bank is rejecting these copies printed from Tally, you may have to manually write the deposit slips. We're not promising you that this format will be accepted by all banks. So it depends on the bank's policy. So if the bank is not accepting, then you may have to write the deposit slips manually. Let me now record transaction. So whenever you are recording a self-check, so you can just record Contra voucher, select debit cash, credit your bank. So this will print as a self-check. So when you print the check, it will say self-check. So it will be printed as a check. And the account payee will not get printed on this check. And to that account payee, even if you are making a party payment and do not want the account payee to appear, you can remove the account payee option here. So this will not print the account payee. And for printing payment advice are the business covering letter to vendors saying that you have made a payment using the bank or so and so reference, whatever it is. So to print the payment advice, again you can go to banking, to payment advice, select the party to whom you have made the payment, and print the advice here. So when you select spacebar on any transaction and when you press Alt, payment advice. This is the payment, which is a covering letter for businesses to show as acknowledgement of the payment or receipt received from them, by them. Thank you.